Hello, my name is Agung Izuhak, and here I'm going to teach you about data type and algorithm components in C. Let's just get into it. The programming in C language has only a two main structure, which is main function and function, like this. The main function role as the main control of the other functions, while the other functions role as a support for the main function so the program can be worked properly. For example, like in a video game, the main functions is worked like a main menu, while the other functions will be role as a setting, play, something, act as a submenu that support the main menu. So, next is variable and constant. I'll not explain this detail, but you guys gonna search it in the modules. I'm gonna explain it shortly or simply. Variable is a name or is a data that has a value that you can freely name it. For example, you can make a variable name name, a variable that you name. That could be a variable. And also you can make a variable name like uncle or number, whatever you like. Variable you can make variable freely. Next is the data type. Those variables that you made must have a data type. Data type is used by a variable to determine its form or type of value it has. So, like that, like this. The variable you choose, like variable name. So you think, what should this variable contain? Like name, it must contain my name, so it must contain a character. It must contain alphabet. So the data type of the variable of name is character. I'm gonna explain it next. There's a four common data types used in C programming, which is integer. It commonly written by int. Second is float, commonly written by float. Boolean, which is written by bool, and the last is character, which is commonly written by hchar. That is the character. It's one of the data types that contain alphabet. I'll explain it next. Okay, this is the description. I'm gonna explain it one by one. So the first is integer or int. It expresses integers between -3 to 6767 to +32767. For example, 1, 0, 3, -5, -7. It was all integer. For simply integer is numbers that can be counted, that can show a value by numbers. Second is float. Float is expressed a real number between 10 to 1038. Example 1.1, 1.3, -9.2. Like this. So float is same as integer, but float can contain a decimal number, while the integer is don't. The integer just only can contain like 1, 2, 62, 70, just that. It, it can't contain a decimal, and this is why float is created to contain a decimal number for the program. Okay? Okay. The third is character. It will express a character. For example, like alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah. And numbers, it, numbers can be used as a symbol, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, blah blah blah. It can be used as a symbol, like there in an example, it contains 9. 9 here is not rolling as a number, but as a symbol. The same as this star symbol, you can use it on character type of data. And the last is Boolean. It expresses logical value, which is this is the nicest thing of Boolean. It's easy because there's only two value on it, true and false. So if it's not true, it is false. If it's not false, then it is true. Simple, right? I'll give you an example in Dev C++. Here are some simple program of counting numbers with simple arithmetical of plus. So here, first we need to declare the header, which is include stdio.har. For every program of C, you need to include that. You need to write include stdio.har, or the program will not work. Okay. Here is the first. Like what I said, C is contained by two major structure, which is the main program, main function, and function. But if you can make a program with only a single function, that main function can make the program work. You don't need other function. But if there is no main function, the program will not work. Okay? This is the main, its role as the main function. But you need to declare before the main function, you need to declare what variable you will use. Here I use a variable of a. This is variable of a. What type of the variable? The type is integer. So if you want to declare a variable, you can write just like that. Just write int and your name of variable. It can be anything like numbers. Don't forget the end. You can write whatever you want, like anchor 1, whatever. Number 1, you can write whatever, but it will not include a space, okay? Whatever. Here I use a simple name for the variable, which is named A. B and C, so I can make a solid program. I want to make a program that I can input the first number, the second number, and the program will count it, will plus the first number with the second number, and it will show the result. So I write here with printf. The printf is work to outputting whatever you whatever you input here, you can manually input here. Printf. So I will teach you how to make it. So first type you can type printf. You make a what is called, yeah, like that one. And you will type this. And you can write whatever you want. Like first number. Here will the output. The program will outputting the first number. And for inputting value into a variable, we can use scanf function. Well, if you confused, you can ask your assistant to explain it. You'll not explain it here. Second number. This is a declaration. This is a declaration. Like uh, that's why I made the third variable the C. So C is A plus B. Yeah, you know it. Kinda. So the output is printf %d. This is what you will output. A is reverse to this reverse to B, this reverse to C. Let's see how it works. We run the program. Okay, I'll type the first number is 6. The second number is 4. So it's gonna be 10, the answer. And voila! It will outputting 6 plus 4 is same as 10. Okay, that is the first tutorial for the second module. You can ask your assistant whenever or whatever you confused with. Don't be afraid. We're here for you. Okay, that's all for this video. Everyone, happy programming. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Lutfi Nur Syedil Makshari. My assistant code is NO. In this opportunity, I will try to explain about data type of struct. What is struct? How we create it? How we use it? Let's find out. First, what is struct? In the module, it is explained that struct is a data type that is created by user. In this point, we do not create a new data type like int or char, but we create a set of existing data type. Now the question is, why we should collect this data type? Now the answer is, we combine these data types because when they get stuck, they have the same purpose. For example, we create passport struct. Now, inside passport, we can find several data like name, like passport number, like nationality. Now, name and nationality, we can classify them into char data type. Now, for passport number, we can classify it into int data type. Now, that's a different thing. Let's have an example. Now, here we have already a struct program. It is a passport program which has 3 data. First is name, and then nationality, and the last passport number. Now, how we create a struct? First, we write down the syntax of struct, and then followed by the name of the struct. Here I named it passport. After that, we open the struct with this sign, and we write down the list what data type we need. Here I need 3 data types. First is name, nationality, and past name, and then we close it, continued by the semicolon sign. Now, then the question is how we use this data type after we create it. Now, struct using is the same as another data type using. For example, now, struct using is the same as the using of another data type. First, you must declare the data type and then you declare the identifier. Nah, the syntax struct passport here, that is the declaration of struct data type. Nah, for the identifier here I named it as my passport. And then if there is question how we input a value into variable from struct. Nah, the first way here you should write down the identifier first. Here we have my passport, and then continue by dot sign, and then you write what variable in which you want to fill. Here I want to fill name, so I write down variable name, and so on, nationality and past name. Now, there is two way identifier declaration for this struct. This is the first way. Let's have a look for the second way. Now, this is the second way. You can directly write down the identifier after the closing of the struct. Now, you can see the first way. You can compare it. As we can see, the second way is shorter than the first way. Now, let's have compile this program. Now, for example, Jordan. You see. Now, this is the example for struct data type. Now, for your practice, you can make a program with struct about your national identity card. I think that's enough. I hope it can be understood. I'm sorry if there are several mistakes in presenting these materials to you.